So, my dear Leo, you are getting a very special reading because today is the equinox, today is equal day, equal night, and today begins the year of the sun. And we begin with Aries. Sun in Aries, giving now the light to the moon, which is in your sign. And that's the combination now in sense of two fire signs are coming together, the sun and the moon. And the interesting part here is that Aries is ruled by Mars, the action, the taking, the spring, the plants are now growing and wanting to show itself, right? And you are ruled by the sun. And so the sun now in Aries is giving you a special fire energy to go deeper within to your new moon, because that's where we're going. We're going to the left. And you always see it on the arrow that's on the picture that I do in front of the video, right? To the left, introverted, to the new moon, soul path. And to the right, extroverted, full moon, right? And so the human experience that we have to go to our opposite sign. Now, your opposite sign is Aquarius, and Aquarius is, of course, always the one that brings you now through Pluto, because Pluto is going to be in Aquarius for 20 years. The new technology, the new information that is coming down also through the new generation. Now, the yoga position for Aries is meditation, because he is the brain, and the brain can only be accessed through meditation. And so we see here the equinox, we see here the arrow, the light arrow and the dark arrow, and we see that they meet in the center where we meditate into. You getting, of course, Simhasana, lion's pose, and lion's breath. And so you are roaring in the infinite eight, in the infinite potential here. And you see that your subconscious is always connected to the soul. And so the lion is actually roaring into the soul. Meanwhile, you are actually feeling him and noticing now what he wants to tell you. You always got to listen to your instinct, right? To that inner knowing. And so Aries is behind you, right? Because he's the card number 4. 4 are the 4 elements, but also the heart. And you are the card number 8, and the 8 is the infinite. And of course, you are connected with the heart as a body part, and so that's why I have put here the flower, and of course also the snake, the sexual energy along the spine to grow into whatever it is that you want to grow into. So this just today, which is of course the equinox, the spring equinox, and the beginning of Aries, sun in Aries. And so if we just think about today, then this moment, right, moon in your sign, this moment only exists once a year. But if we include all the other planets, then this moment exists really only once in your life. You are the king of fire here in the Good Tarot. And is your birthday between July 13 and August 12, then this is your court card. Please look in the description below. I have listed them all there. So if you're not in this time frame, then you are the court card before or after. You are the 5th house of joy and fun and play and passion as well, right? Always remember you're the most passionate of all. And you're Leo, the extroverted. You like to use the sun as that glorious energy that is saying, well, let me have a glow around my head. And also, of course, the heart, right, is right here. Now Mars, which is of course giving Aries the power to actually create a project, is also ruling the Tower. And so in this month, we're going to look into the Tower. We're going to look what needs to go, what needs to leave, so that you can create something completely new, right? And so the Tower, as we can see here, is the number 16. So we have the 10, the Wheel of Fortune, or the 1, the Magician, and then the 6, the self-love. A self-love that comes from knowing oneself, right? And here I have the Animal Spirit Tarot, because I feel that it's important to know when things fall apart, when things crash. We want to have the strength of an animal, and so we're going to look which animal is particularly now supporting you this month, right, in what's happening. So you get the Shark. Look at that, the Shark, a water sign, right, which for you is a little, I don't know, difficult, right? And look where he's facing. He's like, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna get what I need to get to survive. They're very old, right? Because they're from the water when the extinction happened through the dinosaur period, right? All the animals in the water were able somehow to survive, right? And so shark energy is very old, is very ancient. And so I'm going to have a look at what this card is wanting to tell you. So water sign, oh, there it is right away. Directness, exposure, revealing true nature and desire. The shark is only dangerous when we don't acknowledge it. This card indicates that something big needs to be exposed. It's lurking in the depths and creating tension. Shark energy takes over us when we are hesitant to be honest, to be totally ourselves, or to say what we really want. It may be tempting to continue pretending nothing is wrong, but when shark energy is at play, we feel its presence encircling us. Wow. So you really gotta look deep. You really gotta now allow. When we calculate the 16 together, it's a 7. The emotional intelligence that a shark has in being direct, in being truly you, in being clearly extroverted, showing to the people what you're made of, right? How powerful you are as the King of Fire, how powerful you are as a Leo, as that strength. And so show that, right? And that's the emotional intelligence the 7 then brings to us. And it's a very powerful number, the 7. It's your crown chakra. And so the shark is coming and letting you know, okay, something's gotta move. So let's begin the reading. On the position of the Fool, we have the 3 of Pentacles, and that's connected with Mars in Capricorn. And Mars in Capricorn is, of course, Mars, right, which is letting you know, take action about a project, take action through Aries that is now coming to you and letting you know, hey, you can do this, you can take on this project, right? Mars in Capricorn. And Capricorn is the social status, is the body, mind, and soul are now building something that you can only build with other people together. You cannot do this all by yourself. And so working together, and it seems like you are very, like, in that sense, extroverted, and the shark now needs to literally, like, bring these 3 stages of the 3 of coins outward. Meanwhile, the Fool is calling into the soul. The soul is bringing you the 3 of coins, and it's a number that is connected with the Empress, and the Empress is letting you know something is being born, something new. And so of course, the Fool is connected with Uranus, and there is this revolution that you are going outward and showing what you are truly made of. Then on the position of the Magician comes here the soul retrieval, the number 49. And of course the 49, we have again Aries in there, and we have the Hermit in there. And when we calculate it together, we get the 13. And the 13 is the transformation that the shark is bringing, that emotional clarity that is coming to you, the emotional intelligence, right? Because you are really letting go of something that's not working anymore, and so you can really show your true self. So that emotional intelligence is saying, yes, things are leaving, things are transforming, you are coming into the butterfly. And so the 13, when we calculate it together, the 3 is in there again, right? We get the 4, and the 4 is again that Aries, right, or Mars in Capricorn is literally like pushing you. Do, just do. So now with the 1 we get a 50. And the 5 is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is then the bank and the institutions to make something like this happen. The Magician is connected with Mercury, which is your mind and also your language. And so I wanted to see now what's coming up here as the soul retrieval. What have you realized? What have you learned? And it's something that you realized in your childhood, because the pages of wands are coming, and those are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And so you are coming out of this cocoon. You are like spreading your wings, because he's here dancing and showing them, and it's going to the right, right? Showing to the world what you're really made of, that you can dance, that you can take care, and that you are shedding yourself from things out of your childhood, right, that affected you in your childhood, and you're bringing a new awareness. And so the 50 and the 3 is the 8, and you are giving birth to a new you, to a new strength, to a new cycle, to a new year, right? Mars in Capricorn, something that you want to show the world now what you're really made of. And you can dance while you do that, right? You can make that crazy dance and show the world, yes, I am strong, I can do this. Then on the position of the High Priestess, which is connected with the Moon, right? And the Moon in your sign. So this is a deep message from your intuition, letting you know that now here Taurus, the Hierophant is coming, and the Hierophant is called Magus, of the eternal gods. And I picked here the Hermetic Tarot because it's black and white, because she's always between the black and white pillar. And so it's a very clear message that contrast brings us then the stories that we can live. And so the 5 and the 2 is the 7. Again, the emotional intelligence that she brings into your subconscious through the Moon, through feelings, right? And the emotional intelligence that simply now here the Tower is bringing to you. Emotional intelligence is left when the Tower leaves, and you can show who you really are, what you're made of, right? Beautiful. Then on the position of the Empress, which is connected with Venus. Venus is beauty and love and money, comes Capricorn. And so Capricorn, the number 15 plus the 3 is the 18. And 18 is the Moon, and the Moon is in your sign. And so in your subconscious, you want to achieve something. You want to climb the ladder, right? Because you had already Mars in Capricorn. And Mars, through the Emperor, is like kicking your butt a little and says, yeah, go for it. Now always remember, here we get really attached then to this career goal that we maybe have, and realize we never arrive, right? That the way we walk the path is what is important, and not to get to the end of the path, because then what? And so the 18 here, the subconscious is letting you know, don't get attached, neither get cut off from source. And the 18 then gives you the 9. And the 9 is the completion of the hermit, the completion that you know deep within, yes, I can create a career, yes, I can be really successful, but I do not allow myself to get attached to that. Never, right? That's when you're clever. That's when you really know, yes, I am clearly walking the path and I'm not looking for the goal of the path. Then comes Aries. What is Aries telling you through the sun, right? But Aries is like, okay, I am the power, and now the Hanged Man is coming, and that was in the last month. So maybe, which I didn't show you, right? Pisces Sun and Leo Moon, the last reading. I forgot to put that in at the beginning. Is actually letting you know through the Hanged Man that you are now harnessing the fire and the creative spark like a shaman. That was the message through the Hanged Man, because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune also rules the Hanged Man. And so the Hanged Man is coming and indicating, remember last reading, right? That was the message. You are now harnessing the fire and the creative spark like a shaman, and that's what Aries is bringing to you. And so the 4 and the 3, again, we get the 7, the emotional intelligence, to hang upside down, to know that certain things can only be seen from a different perspective. And the 7, the emotional intelligence, then again stays, right? And so very clearly Aries is like pushing your buttons. Aries is like, yes, go and do it. Just go and do it. Then on the position of the King of Fire, right, in the center of the reading, we get the 6 of Wands. And the 6 of Wands is Jupiter in Leo, and Jupiter is the expansion. And so you're expanding inwards because we're going to the left. You're expanding inwards and you want to fly and you want to create a new paradigm. And the inner teacher is appearing because you are the 5th house of joy and fun. And so you're expanding up into this 6 of Wands, which is so much fun, right? It's the victory. It's like you have realized a self-love, plus the 5 is the 11. The 11 is the inner teacher, and the inner teacher is important. That's where we go while we go inwards towards our new moon, right? Which is in your month. And in your opposite sign, you just had the full moon. And so you're going inwards again. So understand that this is a time of more introverted perspectives, also more hanging upside down, right? Even though you're going out and doing what you're doing, also recognize the path within is important. Then on the position of Leo, Leo in the moon, comes the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups always talks about you got to leave something that's really good for something that's even better, because that's what your subconscious is letting you know. And the 8 is connected with this 8, so you have an 8-8 portal here, letting you know something is really talking to you, because we had here an 8 in the soul retrieval, and you did work on yourself and let go something of your past so that you can dance again, right? Dance like you love to dance. And so the 888 is bringing you an understanding. You need to recognize now that you are moving on from something that was good so that you can even have better. And that's what the subconscious is bringing to you, right? That's what you understand through the 2 times 8. Be creative in the way you see now yourself, right? Because the inner teacher told you so. The inner teacher told you to be victorious, to rise, and to know that you are special. To know that when you looked deep down into your subconscious, right, you realized something, and that's where you are coming into the game, because the emperor, right, we had here this emperor, and you can see he's like, you know, a little bit like, yes. And now here in the good tarot in your deck, the Emperor, look what he is. He's a Leo. He's like a lion. He's like, I'm going out there. The Emperor is strong and is showing you, when you do this, when you look deep within and you clear whatever needs to be cleared there, right? Because you did the soul retrieval. And in the soul retrieval, you realized the 13, the transformation. Because this is the pre-stage to the death card, the 12, and then comes the 13. 13 is Scorpio. And so the soul retrieval brought you an understanding about your childhood, and you let that go. And so, yes, you understand more and more that you can move on from something that's really good, because now look what's coming. On the position of the moon, as the moon, right, as the subconscious, you getting the drifter, the experiencing life as it comes. And you see how she or he is walking towards the ship, and now you're in the ship and you let yourself drift. And here comes the 14. The 14 is temperance. Temperance is connected with Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is also a fire sign, and that's here, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. All 3 pages. The young generation is showing you, you can heal and you can dance again. And so the 18, the 9, and the 5 is again, of course, the 14. Be temperance, right? Be in your middle, and then let things flow, and you drift and you allow yourself to just have fun. And of course I wanted to see what's coming when you let yourself drift, when you stepping into this ship, because you can see from high above that this ship was flying, and now the ship has landed, and now because of the shark you can step into the ship, and now the ship is flying in your dreams, right? Because the moon is the dream. And so I want to see what's coming here. And the 3 of Wands is coming, and you had 6 Wands, right? So the 3 of Wands, Sun in Aries. Sun in Aries is pushing you to create new things. And it's clear because you have the 6 of Wands and 3 is 9 Wands. Then you're in the completion to create something new, to dance. Look at her. She is finally dancing, and she is showing, and she is teaching, and she is giving this to the next generation. And this is what's coming up. And so the 5 and the 3 again is an 8. So then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 times the 8, 5 times the 8. Beautiful. And you have 9 Wands now, the completion in the way you take action, right? The way you move, the way you now understand this ship is a good ship. And then on the position of the sun which is ruling you, right? We get the healing, the magic, the alchemy. The 43, you see the 43 is so beautiful because it has the Emperor and the Empress, and together it creates the 7, and the 7 is then the emotional intelligence. And the 19 is the 10 and the 7 is the 17, which is your opposite sign, Aquarius, the star. And the sun is a dwarf star, so you understand what it means to be a star. And so you are healing others, because this is now the calling out, the sun that brought you also the Hanged Man, right? And so see that things are now making sense. You are healing, you're bringing the alchemy, you're bringing the magic out, and the 17 turns into another 8, and the 8, here again you have 6 times the 8. And so I want to see what comes here when you heal, what is expressed, a high time, the 4 of Wands. And so here you had the 3 of Wands, and now comes the 4 of Wands. And all together we have then 13 wands, a big transformation in the way you take action, a big transformation in the way you then go into a high time, into exactly that dancing, because you did the soul retrieval. You did let go of something in your childhood, and now you can dance, and now you can be in this high time, and you can enjoy the magic that you are bringing to the people. So beautiful, right? And so the 17 becomes the 8, the 8 and the 4 is then the 12. The 12 is the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man that came up through Aries, that told you, let things go, let really things go. Things will now magically appear, right? And so the 12 is really clearly letting you know that it's good to hang upside down. And maybe the last reading, again, have a look at that, because it was really the Hanged Man that came up. And then what's coming on the world? The last card we get here, Libra, the Queen of Swords. Look at that. She's the 7th house of relationship and partnership. And again, that's the emotional intelligence that we need to achieve. And the world, the 21, turns into a 3. So in the world, then you can become the 10. The 7 and the 3 is the 10. The 10 is a new cycle that is beginning with Aries. Aries that brought you the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man, the Sun, right, brought you then here the 17, the Star, the Aquarius, and the 8, plus then the 4, the 12, and the 12, the 3 is left, the Empress, the creating new things, the building new things, right? She builds and he destroys, right? I mean, it's just what it is. It's like, otherwise, if we don't destroy things, we cannot build again, right? It would be too full here. And that's also what the 13 is, right? If no one would die, we would like have all these people here and all the dinosaurs here as well, right? And so it's good that things are leaving. And so the 10 is a new cycle through Saturn, because the world is connected with Saturn, and Saturn is your borders and your lessons that you're learning by mentally understanding things, by mentally knowing that the shark is looking at you now, that the shark is saying, oh, you can do this, right? Because I'm looking at you and you're going to do this. If you want or not, you're going to do this. You're going to create, right, something that's really cool, that's really amazing in this world. Even though there are borders, you have the 10. The 10 is the social status that is connected with the 10th house of Capricorn. And here you have Mars in Capricorn, and she looks at the 3 of coins clearly, and she knows, do I have the money to do that? Yes, I do have the money to do that, right? And so you get the 10, but this is really fascinating, right? So she's looking literally at the shark, and she's like, yes, I got to show who I truly am, right? And I am someone that is clear-minded in the emotional intelligence that is facing now the shark. And the shark is saying, good, show the world what you're made of. Show the world that you can do it. Beautiful reading. I hope I see you in the next one. That's when the sun goes into Taurus. Here the Hierophant came up, right, through the High Priestess. So your intuition already knows that it's spinning and it's turning, and the next message is coming. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.